Hi again, it's Laurel with Dabbling Hook, and it is Saturday, February 29th. There is no 29th this year. It is March 1st. Can you believe it's March 1st? And as soon as I said that, the sun just came out. We've had very confused weather the last couple of weeks. We went from warm-ish winter to freezing cold to rain and ice and freezing post-rain snow, and what is it? No, not post-rain snow. We went from snow to freezing rain to straight out rain, and then it froze overnight, and it was complete chaos. Anyway, and then it got warm again. Yep, this week has been very warm. So yeah, we went from bundled up, like 14-degree weather to now it was like 50 degrees earlier this week, and it's still in the low 40s right now. So and the sun just went away. So it's a warmish day for winter, and the sun is going behind the clouds and coming out and all that. So anyway, how are you guys doing? Doing good? More tea. My mug just says chug. What else? If you're new here, thanks for stopping by. I hope you subscribe, but if you don't, thanks for the visit. And to you OGs, as usual, cheers. I'm back way sooner than I thought I would be, because I mentioned before that I'm prepping for 2 spring craft fairs, one mid-May and one early June, and a lot of and so I'm making amigurumis, because that's what my spring fairs are. I've done spring fairs 2 or 3 times in the past, and it's been a while since I did it, but I started up again last year, and I did these 2 last year, and I'm doing it again this year. So amigurumi, and I'm trying to have some newer or newish stuff than what I usually have. So I'm in craft fair mode, and I just spilled something, or not spilled, dropped. Hang on. I know there was a lot of up and down last time, and there probably will be too, but I have a huge bag of makes. And no, they're not all new, but they're all the things that I showed last time with some new stuff added in. So I'm just going to get started. I'm going to reach over there, and links, or there'll be a document with a link down below. Now I'm still trying to figure out the linking the Google Doc, because most people who link it, you can only go in and view the items and click on the links. I've had a lot of people request edit access, and I don't want to give edit access because I don't want people changing things around, but I haven't figured out, like, for those of you who've clicked on it, is it restricting your access completely, or are you trying to download the document so you would have the list? And if that's what you're trying to do, I'm trying to figure out how to make that happen. But let me know what errors that you're getting, because I've had a few people request editing access. But anyway, there'll be a link down below to the document with the links to the patterns, because a lot of them I don't remember who the makers were. If I do, I will try to say it, but it'll be in a document. Anyway, first I mentioned I was into capybaras, or I've been making capybaras, and I mentioned, or I showed 2 of them last week, and one of them I showed is a new form to me, a new shape. I usually do the standing one that way, but now I'm doing the sitting up ones. I'm doing both still, but I found a couple of patterns I like are easy. Out of the 2 that I made last time, one of them I prefer, and I did mention that I was going to make it and change the color of the baubles. The one I showed last time had a different air color, but I wanted to change the bauble color, so there's that. So the last one I made was this is Posh. I think this is brown butter, and this is oyster mushroom. But the last one I made was just the body was all in the brown butter, and the air was in a, not brown butter, but it was like a grayish tan one. But So I did make it again and change the bobbles. So I think I like that one better. Oh, there it is. This was the one I made last time, and you can see it has the much lighter ear. And this one had you tie it on, and this one I just attached the yarn, did the chain, crocheted back down, and reattached it. So I didn't have to tie it on. So it's easily modified, but pretty simple pattern. Shouldn't say simple pattern. It's an easy pattern, quick to work up. I think I'll do it both ways still. So I want to make a couple more of these. The other one that I made, it's down at the bottom. I showed it last time. But the one that I bought a pattern to, because I said last year I made 3 of them, 3 different shapes. Actually, no, there were 4 different shapes I made. 2 of them were purchase patterns, or 3. 3 were purchase patterns, and 2 were from YouTube. But the one I made the most last year, it's from Etsy, and I don't remember the shop name, but this is it. So I made these because a friend of mine wanted to purchase one as a gift. So I made 3 different ones. I made one in Posh. I'll put up a picture. I made one in Posh. This is in Just Chenille from the Dollar Tree, doubled. And I made another one of doubled, but it's a Just Chenille and Posh combined. And that's the one she chose. But there's this. And then the one I made in Posh, someone at my job actually wanted a capybara, and she purchased that one. So it was obviously smaller. It's a little bigger than this, but so I'll show you the picture of the 3 of them together. And out of the 3 I made, I have 1 left, so I have to make more of these. But I made quite a few of these last fair season. All right, the other one I found, I don't remember. I don't think it was a tutorial. It was, and I don't even know if I saved it because at the time I wasn't sure. I liked the look of it, but I didn't like the way mine turned out. And there's a lot of increasing, decreasing, doing this, doing that to this one, and it's a little more work than I wanted to do. But I think it's pretty cute though. So it looks like that, and from the side it looks like that. It's back. So yeah, but this one took quite a bit of time to make, I think. Yeah, not sure about this one yet. I like the look of it, but the amount of work it took, I'm not sure. Alright, I'm gonna have to start a pile on the floor. The other capybara I made, I saw it on Pinterest. I did mention that I've gone down that rabbit hole, Pinterest rabbit hole again. I was doing so well staying awake because I know what I'm like with it. But I saw it, and then there's a YouTube tutorial for it, and it's a small one again. So I decided, it wasn't that small, it's regular size, but I decided to use up some yarn I bought. When I mentioned last time I was looking for the Just Chenille in that rust color, not the Just Chenille, the Home Slim in the rust color that I couldn't find last December, and I ended up buying the Skinny Chenille from Michaels. So I tripled it and made this YouTube tutorial, and capybara. Now I followed along because I usually, when I'm following, I usually change. I'm like, oh, what if I do this instead? But I followed along with the tutorial, and it must be my tension because hers looks pretty straight and pretty square, and mine kind of came in here, because you do decrease here. So looking at her picture, I'm like, how did hers not, you know, decrease here when these are decreases, these last couple of rows here? So anyway, I'm not happy with the color, especially this color, because I had the Skinny Chenille in this color, and I didn't have a color that I wanted to use at the time for, you know, the contrast color. So this is the Just Chenille. Did I double it? Doubled. And it's the medley, I think it's called. It's the brown medley. It's the flecky looking ones that they have. So yeah, so you can see the difference between this and then the normal one that I make. It's pretty big. So this is what I said last time. That's what I mean when I said last year there was a, what do you call it, a keychain size one that was done in 2mm, and I just used what did I use last time? I think I used Home Slim, and it was about this size last year that I ended up selling for like $30. So change the yarn size, and you know, something small, you can have a nice size item. So those are capybaras. And there's also I don't remember by who, but there's a pattern for a rat that I've been seeing a lot on my feed. And again, I don't want to keep buying patterns because I have so many that I haven't even done yet. You know, while I like to support the designers as much as the people who support me and buy my patterns, I have a lot I need to work through. So I need to really put a pause on it, but sometimes you just can't help it. But anyway, the rat. I've been seeing this rat like all over my feed, all over the place. So I decided I'm not gonna buy the pattern, I'm gonna make it. So I had the picture up and I just made my own. So I'm gonna try. I think I took notes. I have to go back to find my notebook. I think I took notes, but I want to not decrease as much in the neck, but then again, so it wouldn't look exactly like the other ones, I may be fine with that. But anyway, that's my rat. So not bad. I want to make one, but with a brighter pink for the tail and the baubles. But this is all Bernat blanket yarn. I think it's the baby blanket. I think the pink is baby blanket, and I forget what color this is. So that's the rat. And one of the last ones I mentioned last on the last episode was I was doing all the plush this, plush that, and I was at the time working on this one, which is a mouse. And of course it uses, you know, more plushy blanket type yarn. I used I'm pulling off all the stuffing that's sticking out that you don't see until you get into a certain light, and then they're all there. Anyway, I was doing a plush mouse. It's called a plush velvet mouse, and I think it was only halfway through it. So this is the plush mouse. Now again, because I'm using Posh makes everything more structured, more sturdy, so you don't have that plushy feel to it, but it's still, you still get that with the plush. But I think it's still cute. This is, I think this is fruit bowl smoothie, not blueberry, raspberry smoothie, something smoothie in Posh. And this is, I forget what color this is. Speaking of Posh, so I have a lot of yarn, but with the Joann's going out of business, I decided I needed one color to finish. Ooh, it's back there and I need to get it. I made a dragon, big one, and I ran out of yarn. I thought I had enough. I ran out, and I didn't have anything that I could offset it with. So I went to Joann's to see if they had any. First I looked up and I thought they had, but the one that was, the name was different. I had Misty Forest, and the one that they had was Misty Jungle Forest, and I'm like, oh, maybe the name's just different. The colors are similar, but one is more bluish, whereas the one I was using was more greeny blue versus a greeny green versus, I'm looking at them over there. One is cooler, one is a little warmer. But while I was there, the signs are on the door, final sales, the whole going out of business thing, and I'm like, you know what? I want to have all the colors of Posh, and I had quite a few of them already, so I took a picture and labeled on the picture like what I had, and then I took that, went to the store, and I bought this is the colorway that I put on the ears. It's looking more pinky on screen, but it's more of a purpley pink. So that's all I have left of that one. But I bought all the other colors that I didn't have, and I ended up spending, and the yarn was only 25% off. Other things were, most of the store was 20% off. I think now a lot of things are 40% off. But the yarn, based on the email I just got, was still 25% off. But I bought like $106 because the coupon, I know it's some people, the coupons and the cards, the gift cards don't work. I don't know about gift cards, but we could still use the coupons that are in the app. So I was able to use that, and it got my total down to $106 of Posh and the one skein of blanket yarn that I bought. And then I decided Michael's wasn't too far, so I went there to see if they had the color that I needed in the blanket yarn, and they actually did. So I ended up with 2 skeins of blanket yarn, one from Joann's, one from Michael's. Long story short, I bought yarn. I bought a bunch of Posh, and it doesn't fit on my, so it's now in my basement in a bag, zipped up, but I plan on using it because I'm in amigurumi mode. So the little, and it's got the little tail. So I'm actually tempted to make another one of these. This is another one of those patterns. Did it tell you where exactly to put it? No, it had the instructions for all the parts clear enough, but there was no assembly section at all of where to put what. So I just went by the picture it attached. So that's cute. I'm tempted actually to make one out of the Just Chenille yarn, held single with like maybe a 3.25 hook or something. So we'll see. Next things that I made, I'm pretty sure I didn't show this last time. I made jellyfish. I know Rose has been making these. She makes the big one from One Dog Woof. I think that's the pattern that she uses, but I did not use a pattern. I just did my own thing. And this is, I had, again, I still have a little bit. I have like partial skeins of yarn. Hang on a sec. So this one, I had a partial skein of this yarn, and I can't remember if this is the same skein or if I had opened up another skein. I think it's the same one. I had an open skein basically of yarn, so I decided to make the jellyfish. And this one has what do you call it? Safety eyes. This one has safety eyes. I think these are the 30 millimeter, 25, 30? Not sure. I think it's the 30 millimeter. That's the biggest size I have, is a 30. But yeah, with the backing. So I made that one. It's got the tentacles, and then I made the little spirally curly things, all no-sew. So at first I didn't have the string, and I don't know if I want to keep the string because it pulls on here, but I just added a string that could be easily cut. I still have that, so I got to figure out what to do with that, what to make with that. And then this one is the bunny that I made, where I ran out when I did the boy bunny. I ran out, and then I used the coordinating yarn. So it's the Frosty, the frost line of the Bernat blanket. So excuse me. So I made this one, and this one I embroidered the eyes. I'm still contemplating. It looks a little devious. If I should put a little, white highlight to kind of soften the look, but then no, I kind of like it. So yeah, there's that one. And excuse me. I'm trying to remember why I use, oh, I didn't run it. I thought I ran out of it. I didn't, because I'm looking, I could see I have more. I just wanted something different, so I used some of this to make that little center coily part of the tentacles. So 2 jellyfish. I need to make 1 or 2 squids. I think I have 1 left from last season. So that's the jellyfish. What else do I have in here that I haven't shown you? I don't think I showed you this. I saw this one, and even up to yesterday, kept popping up on my feed. I don't know why on Pinterest. Probably because I was just searching for ducks. But the duck with the flower, and even though I pinned it when I was sewing it, it moved, and it's bugging me. It reminds me of somebody with a receding hairline, but it's just the duck with the flower. And again, so I clicked on it because the picture on Pinterest looked really cute, and I clicked on it, and this was another instance where I think the pattern that's there is not really the picture that it shows, because everything sort of worked out until I got to this piece, and the directions for this just didn't make any sense, because I kept doing it, and there's no way that it would make the petals that were showing in the picture. So I kind of did my own thing, and you can see it's not really, I'm not too thrilled with it. But I had it a little more up front, and as I sewed, it kind of moved back. So got a big forehead, but not something I would make again. I have no pull to make that again. So I'm just seeing what else is new in my bag since last time. All right. Okay. Okay, that's the bag. The other thing that I made, I showed the two snakes that I made. One was, you know, when I have these types of skeins, partial skeins left, that I made that first snake from, and then I used my scraps to make the other one. And I mentioned that I bought the coily pattern. It hurt my hand, I have to say, on such a small circumference. Doing the spirally, it hurt my hand. I'm not sure how I like that, but this, I'm pretty sure, was from this skein. This skein had different colors, so you can see this is more the blues, but it did go into all the yellows and the beige. But as you can see, this is the coily without putting in what do you call it, like a pipe cleaner type thing. So it totally coils. But yeah, my fingers were not happy. I don't know if I'll make another one. So this is the pattern that I bought, and that's the top of it. And the smile I put in, it wasn't in the pattern, but that's that. And so it's a small one. So this is usually like the size I see people making, whereas when I make them, I like to make the big. See the difference? So, and the reason I'm doing the video a little early too is I need to bag these, tag and back these and put it away. Plus the bag that I currently have, it's full, so I need to bring in a new bag. So before I do that and put it away, I needed to tag, bag, take a photo. Next was Ditty Decks, which is by Jody's Yarn on Etsy and Handmade by Josie on Ravelry. I bought it off Etsy, and I wish I had checked Ravelry first, because I'd rather be on Ravelry. The one downside to Etsy is that if you ever have an update to the pattern, anyone who's purchased it will never get the update. With Etsy, you only get the pattern as of the time that you bought it. So even if I change the listing with an updated version, they'll never get that updated version, which sucks. Even Craftsy used to be able to do that. They would send a notification whenever you updated the pattern. You get that with Ravelry, but you don't with Etsy, which really stinks. But anyway, Ditty Decks, the little snuggler. Now when I was making this, I'm like, oh, it's a lot of pieces to sew on. But I don't know why, for some reason, it just felt already shutting off on me. It just felt like a lot of pieces. I don't know why. I don't think it's that bad, but I want to make another one, and I have these like partial skeins that I have. I don't know if it'll make a whole one, but I'm gonna try with this, I think, just to use it up. But and the horn is way bigger, and the first one I made was even bigger because I didn't pay attention. The yarn that she used and the hook size, I think, was different for the horn. So the original horn I made was twice the size of this. So I'm like, oh, that's not right. So I just used, I didn't have anything smaller at the time, so I just used Posh. And even with the hook size smaller, it still came out bigger. So, but yeah, Ditty Decks. I know there's now, I think she has a snuggler well, this is a snuggler, but she has two other snuggler versions with the blanket type. One with him holding it, and one with, you know, when it's sewed to the center type. And I think there's a bundle. I watched somebody who made it, and there's a bundle out there for that. I'm not planning on doing it. There's also a stuffed version, and I think I can easily modify this to just stuff it and change a few things to make it just be a regular stuff. Like, look, it'll be like that instead of all squish stuff. So, not bad. So there's that. And then the other thing I made, I don't think I showed this. If I did, you're seeing it again. One of the other another plush bunny. I wanted different types of bunnies. So I saw this one, and I like the picture, which always draws you in, the cute pictures. And doing the pattern wasn't so bad. I think this was another one that didn't have assembly directions, I'm pretty sure. Maybe it did. I'm getting them confused because I'm doing way too many things. But my face did not, I couldn't shape the face to look like the picture at all. So almost tempted to try it over again. But this is one of the clearance yarns that I bought off of either Hirschner's or Mary Maxim. And I think it's one of the dots. But embroidered eyes. It's got the nose that you can barely see. Even on the pattern picture, you could barely see the nose, so they used something really light. But I couldn't, there was more of an indentation here that made it look really cute in the picture, and I couldn't. But what drew me to it was the way the ears were, like, you know, down, instead of sticking up, were like down in the back. So I like that. So this is bunny number, I think, 4. The other thing that I did that I can't find, ooh, excuse me, I got fluff in the eye. Give me a second while I go look. I did Lisa of Happy to Hook, and I think last time I was rewatching my video from last time, and I said Lisa, no, Kim of Happy to Hook, and I'd meant Kim of the Crafty Nomad. So, correction there. But Lisa of Happy to Hook has been making these free-handed bunnies, and I was watching one of her episodes, and I'm like, oh, since I'm in bunny mode, I'll just do. So I just whipped one up, and she was using little pom-poms that she was gluing on to it, and I'm like, yeah, no, I don't want to do anything extra. So I just did a treble crochet bobble for the pom-pom, and I sent her a picture. Actually, I don't have it, and I didn't even take a picture. I did take a picture. I'll have to put it in. When I went to meetup, we have a meetup every other week at our library, like a craft meetup. It's not just for yarn, it's any kind of craft you want to do for an hour and a half. You can come, sit, socialize type of thing. So the one of the part-time librarians who's there, she just got a full-time job at somewhere else where she'll be still talking books, but it was her last day, so I gave her the bunny as a gift, a going away gift. So I will put a picture up of what it looks like of that. And okay, only a few more, or actually, wow, I thought I had more. No, right now just one more. Oh no, behind there I have a box. I was putting my latest ones in so I can go take a picture. All of these I've already photographed, those I haven't, so I'm gonna have to go get that. But chickens, last year I made off a tutorial, I think it was a hen and chick. It was a big chicken with the little hole in the bottom, and you have the little chick in there, and I made that, and it was nice to have one big chicken among all the other, like Mabel chicken and other types of chickens. And I do the Mabel chicken, but I do like my own modification on that, where sometimes I give it a head, sometimes I don't, type of thing. So I decided to make my own big chicken. And the Mabel chicken, of course, doesn't have wings, so I put wings on this. And this is the mystical, whatever that color is called. This is what I have left of it. I made the cat I showed last time, and this, I think I made this first. No, I made the cat first, and I made this, and then that's what I had left. But I made my own chicken. I need to sew down one of the wings because one sticks out, but I gave it the wings. I used some Posh to outline the wing just to give it, because it's just this marled, different shades of black. Oh my god, I'm having a hot flash. Oh, it feels like my face is about to, whew. Anyway, and when I did the eyes, it's a little crooked because I took a picture and it just looks like it's looking at you cockeyed. But yeah, I gave it a little more of a pronounced beak. But the only thing I had to sew on, this was done. I gave it a tail, this was done as I was closing it up. The only thing I had to sew on was to sew on the wings. But yeah, this is going to be my, unless somebody buys it the first craft fair, my like, what do you call it? My showstopper, I guess, so whatever the word is, amongst all the chickens. So I may do this again. Yeah, we'll see. If I have scraps, which I'm starting to have again, of the blanket yarn, I'll do that. Alright, so let me go get the rest real quick, and I'll be right back. Okay, I am in turtle and duck mode. Oh, other capybara that I saw. Honestly, I don't even remember where this, oh, this was a YouTube tutorial. This was somebody, I think, during Vlogmas, had different bags, and every day she made a different, I think it was for 8 days, she made different projects, and this was one of them, and I love the little picture. Mine looks a little longer than hers because the Posh yarn doesn't spread. Like I said, it's structural, or more structured, so it doesn't like expand when you put stuffing like the other yarns do. But it was just, it's so cute. Now I was using the skinny chenille from Michaels that I tripled. Did I triple or double? I doubled, and I ran out. So you can see I ran out right here, so I just did some Posh over here. So this is just, you can see it's a slightly bigger, obviously a different color, but I think it's cute. And I followed along exactly with the tutorial, and the only thing that happened, and I'm wondering, 1 2 3 4 1 2 3, I did the same number of double crochets, but some reason this one, when it stands, this bobble doesn't touch the floor, so it's a little gimpy, I guess, but it's still cute, and I may do it again. So I like that one. So now I have 1 2 3 4, like 5 different versions of capybaras. Yeah, that's that. Somebody was doing a, I don't know if it was one of those roundups of either spring patterns or no sew whatever. I was looking at something, and they did this. This was one of the ones they showed, which was a triceratops, and it did it. It's a little, mine's a little off center, but because normally I make the crochet club crochet one, the little, I think it's about like this big usually, it depends on the yarn you make, but again I use Posh. Little triceratops, not bad. She did say came out bigger than she thought it would, but I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. So that's that. I need to make possums, one of my best sellers. I think I maybe have 1 or 2 left from last season, and I didn't have any gray yarn at the time, so I just used, this is the same, the one I made the jellyfish out of, the frost version of the blanket yarn. This is some blanket yarn as well, so I just use what I had basically, and I do my own possum pattern. The only thing I took from somebody else's pattern, instead of starting with the different and switching colors after just one round, I hate that. I just whip stitch on the nose, but otherwise it's just, I wing it. Alright, turtles. 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 Turtles, those are usually another good seller, really good seller for me, especially the smaller ones. They were going like gangbusters from last spring through most of the craft fair, and towards the end definitely slowed down, so I don't know how it's gonna do. But for this spring, another reason I wanted the posh and the brighter colors, I wanted, because it's spring, to make brighter color turtles. So this is totally gonna fall. Turtles. Turtles. Whoops. Okay, so this one is the person who did this capybara. It also came with a little turtle backpack, and I didn't want to do that on here, but this was her turtle, and her pieces were all like sewn in, and you know we're all into the no-sew, but like you make the legs and then she stitched them on, but instead of stitching them on, I incorporated it as I went along. But this was hers, pretty much. I think I changed a couple of things, but pretty much this was from there. And I didn't do the I didn't want it to be a backpack, so I just did the tutorial just to see how it turned out. But this is what it was supposed to be, with the string that went around the front paws or hands or whatever they're called. But these are my free-handed turtles. And again, after you've watched a couple of patterns, after you've watched a couple of tutorials or done a couple of patterns, you can pretty much do your own thing. And all of these have, this one I just showed you has a safety eye, but all of these have stitched on embroidered eyes. So the posh, it's that purpley pink color with the, I think this is sherbet glow or whatever it's called, but yeah, I wanted bright spring colors. So there's one, and then I did another sherbet glow. I was trying to use up, I had a small leftover skein at the time, so I was trying to use it up, so I did the sherbet glow with the gray, I don't remember what the gray is called, stitched on eyes, and then green, which is the lime glow. I still have a messed up skein that I was caking up that I still need to finish, but that with the brown butter, again, all stitched on eyes. And I thought I did 4. I swore I did 4. I guess I was wrong. So I did 3 of these, and then, oh no, I didn't do 4 because at the time of the cake that I had, I didn't have enough, so I made one of these instead. And I ran out of the sherbet glow. This is where I ran out of it, and I just added the trim with that gray. And again, stitched on eyes. I like to put mouths on them, but yeah, wobble the little tail. And the other thing, I've made a lot of mallard ducks, and those are really good sellers. Like when I make the little ducks, when I make the mallard versions, those usually go first out of all of them. So, and then I saw this, again, Pinterest, picture of a cute rubber duck, and it led to a Ribbler, free pattern on Ribbler. There is one line in the pattern that I think is confusing, and maybe it's just my brain wasn't clicking on, but they go from 12 stitches to doubled each to 24, and then you have to do something to elongate the back and end up with 34 stitches. And it just, my brain was like, how are you getting 34 stitches? So I wrote the designer, they actually wrote back and explained, but I don't think it explained clearly enough for a non-seasoned crocheter to really get it. I don't think. Just my opinion. that part could use a little expansion on the explanation. So I couldn't figure it out based on the pattern, so I knew that I was supposed to have an X number of stitches, so I figured out how to just do whatever on my own. So the first one I made was, again, what I had left of the bunny yarn, and I think, I'm not sure if I may have a little bit left of it, but I made that. I hope you can see that. I hope it's not blurry, but yeah. And the beak, she wants you to do a chain and do whatever, and then I think either tie or stitch it on. I just surface crochet, picked up, and did my own thing instead. So there's that. This is the part where, you know, in that round, to get that number of, because when you go from 12 to 24, but this adds the extra stitches and it's just not clear. So I just did my own thing and it worked out. So I also did it in pink, and I did the beak a little longer too, a little wider than what she had. So I did it in pink, and I added even more stitches here since I figured out what I wanted to do. But yeah, rubber duck, free on Ribbler. I will put a link down below, and if you guys can figure it out, then my brain was just not functioning properly. 2 more to go. So like I said, mallards. I like the mallards. They do well for me, either in the little ones or whatever size I make them. They tend to do well. So this is the duck tutorial by Rose and Lily. It's also free written on her blog, but she has a tutorial to go with it. And this is the second time I have turned it into just a mallard. But I followed her beak, and I thought it was too long, but I guess they do have obviously a longer beak, so I guess that works out. But again, I stitched on, embroidered the eyes, did the little here, got the little tail. But yeah, Rose and Lily tutorial for a duck that I just turned into a mallard. I'm going to do this again, and I only did 1 row of the white, and it needs to be 2 to really see. You do kind of get to see it, but it needs another row. So yeah, and this is blanket yarn. Obviously the speckled one is blanket yarn, but this is the Premier Basics chenille, and it definitely has a more fuzzy terry clothy feel to it opposed to the Bernat. Yeah, it's more textured than the Bernat, but yeah, I like this. Rose and Lily, good tutorial. Written pattern is, I went by the written pattern. First time I did it, I did the tutorial, but I just went along with the written pattern for this. So too cute. Definitely make again, and I have enough, I think, to make it. I definitely have the green, and I'm pretty sure I have enough of this left out of the same skein to do it. So. And you can also do this in like a darker shade of brown. I've seen pictures where they do the body in one brown and then a lighter brown and this. And if you look at the picture, it does look like the wings are darker than the undercoat. So that's another way. All right, the main star of what I made. This is the one where I had to go buy more yarn because I thought the one skein would work, and it didn't. Dragons. I like dragons. I don't know why. I think it started last year or the year before. I saw a tutorial of a mini baby dragon off YouTube. The designer has since stopped making tutorials, and it used to be free, and now she sells them. Kudos to her. On Etsy. I'm pretty sure it's just Etsy. Might be Ravelry too, but I've seen it on Etsy. At the time I made them, I liked it so much I wrote down, you know, quick notes of the pattern so I can actually do it from my notes. But it's no longer on it's no longer available on YouTube. I think if you have the link, I think you can get to it, but so it might just be private now. But what was I looking for? So this is by Snuggle Bean. I've seen a lot of people make this. It's the Snuggle Dragon by Snuggle Bean Crochet, and this pattern has options. You can make, and it's not just, you know, change hook size or yarn size type of options. This has options, so well worth the price of the pattern. You have 3 different horn styles. I think you can stitch the ears in different directions. There's 2 different wing sizes. There are 3 different options for spikes. You can either do bubble spikes, more pointiest spikes, or you can do use fun fur to go down the middle. I wanted to do a fun fur, but what I had didn't go with this color scheme, so you can see that. And I definitely like the Maleficent looking wings, horns. Oh, look at it. It's ginormous. I still haven't taken a photo of it yet, but I forget where I did the head. I think I did all the bits. What was I missing? I did the tail, and I forget what I hadn't done where I was missing yarn. But anyway, it's huge, as you can see. It's baby size. It's bigger than a newborn size. Totally bigger than a newborn size. But it had, I think, the straight horns. It has this Maleficent horn, and it had the spirally horns. And at first, I liked the idea of the spirally horns, but after doing this, and it hurt my hand so much, I didn't want to do the spirally horns. So, I like this. I like this one. But look, I definitely want to do it again. I'm thinking maybe in size 5 yarn, so it's a little smaller, because this will be a, oh, when I was saying that this was going to be like my, whatever, focal point. I want it to be like the focal point of the chicken, so this will definitely be one of those focal points. Oh look, and the tail is just, oh, you also have 2 options for the tail end too, so you really have options. Option 1, option, option. So, oh, you also have 3 different head shape options. They're just little deviations, but 3 different head sizes, so it's well worth the price of the pattern. And I think I got mine on sale too, or there was a discount code or something, so recommend. I don't know how I feel about the other wing that's in there, so I definitely like the idea of this. The other wing, it's done so it like sticks out and stands out more, but yeah, it wasn't calling to me, just like the other horns wasn't calling to me. But it's just, oh my god, this is gonna be another long one. This was only supposed to be like more of a catch-up, but I think it's just gonna be a full-fledged episode because it's so long. But look at that. And I would have had this done in pretty much a day, or so. I started it late at night, and I think I did the head, most of everything, because all the red pieces were done the next day, so I had to do that. And I ran out of yarn. What did I run out of yarn with? I think it was the limbs. I didn't have for the limbs. I was able to get to the tail, the head, the tail, the body, and I had to do the ears and all the other stuff, so I needed the second skein. So you're gonna need at least 1.5 skeins of burlap blanket yarn to do the body, and then you need whatever the contrast color is, less than half a skein to do all the contrast work, obviously, because I had less than half a skein balled up, caked up, and that's what I used. And I think I still have it somewhere. I still have a ball of that red somewhere. But yeah. And the color, who said they liked the color? Minion One said he liked the color, but the only reason I used the color is it was the first available full skein of yarn that was there, and that's what I used. But and then the red, an accent, it was just happened to be sitting there, a partial cake of yarn. So too cute. Now I need to go take a photo and tag and bag. So I think that's all I was working on, because last night I did I did the mallet duck. And speaking of, oh my gosh, headaches. Ever since I got COVID the first time back in 2020, end of 2020, 2021, I've been getting headaches. Like I used to get a headache once in a blue moon, and now I get headaches so regularly, and they hurt so bad. And that's what today is. And I kind of forced myself to do this, so yeah, because I was just in bed and it just wasn't going away. I went to sleep with a headache, I woke up with a headache, and we went out and came back and I still have a headache. So usually if I get up and do stuff, it dissipates, but no, not this time. So you get a full episode because of that. So on that note, I'm going to clean up this mess, photograph all the ones that haven't been photographed, tag, and put away this full bag. Alright, make sure I didn't leave anything in here. I did not. I think I will be doing turtles and I think I want mini mallards, like the small round ducks. I want mallard ones because those usually do well for me. So yeah, I think there's a tutorial I use by 1 Cent Crochet for her duck, and I just turn it into a mallard. So I might do that. Yeah, and I'll be using Posh because it'll be the right size. Okay, enough of that. I will talk to you guys later. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a good rest of the weekend. And it's warming up. If it's cold wherever you are, that it's warming up. I'm leery because this is New England, and you know, what is it? In like a lamb, out like a lion, or vice versa. You never know with the winters here. We can get blasted out of nowhere. So we were supposed to have rain, I think, was it Wednesday? And it rained, but when I got up to when I left to go to work, the driveway had like frozen rain on it, but then it had already started turning to rain. But by the time I got to the state where I work, it was full on snowing. So it's been a crazy weather, and my battery's blinking, so that means it's telling me to shush. And I will talk to you guys later. At this rate, who knows, I might be back in a week, probably 2 weeks, because I'm working on stuff. Okay, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye, and thanks for watching.